Now, after 70 matches, 9 weeks of action, and countless twists, the 2025 Tata Indian Premier League playoffs is upon us. It's just over 14 hours away from qualifier 1, which will pit the table toppers Punjab Kings against the second-placed Royal Challengers Bengaluru for a spot in next Tuesday's championship game. Only net run rate separated the two in the league stage after both finished with 19 points from 13 completed matches. The teams are expected to be bolstered by the return of talismanic bowlers, with Punjab set to welcome back leg spinner Yuzvendra Chahal, who missed their last 2 fixtures with a wrist injury, while RCB seem confident in the return of Australian seamer Josh Hazlewood, who underwent rehab for his shoulder. Now, fellow Aussie Tim David, on the other hand, is in a race against time to recover from a hamstring injury. But speaking of talismanic players, this matchup will also feature a head-to-head between the legendary Virat Kohli and the extraordinary talent that is Punjab skipper Shreyas Iyer. The two are among the season's most prolific scorers, with Kohli already hitting 850s to rack up 602 runs at a rate of 147.91 and a far superior strike rate of 171.90. Iyer is not too far behind, currently sitting on 514 runs. Now, here's what to expect from the Mullanpur pitch at the Maharaja Yadavendra Singh Stadium, which has hosted 4 games so far this season. Teams have crossed the 200 mark twice, batting first, 3 times in total, but the ground has also coughed up scores of 111 all-out and 95 all-out, bringing the average first inning total to 173. Now, teams taking first strike have won 3 of the 4 encounters, and Nikhil Uttam Chandani is still with us as we look ahead to what should be a cracking contest. Well, Nikhil, can we start by having a comment on those graphics that we just looked at based on how the pitch has played in the past and what's the likelihood of, how it will serve up the contest for tomorrow?
Yeah, Lance, I think obviously with scheduling and with what's going on in India, this was now become almost like a home game for Punjab. They played 4 games here. But why it has worked out well for the other teams is because the pitch is unpredictable. So it's going to require the same amount and level of adapting and flexibility by each team when they show up there. Because as you said, there's been high scores. I mean, CSK chasing 219, got to 201. And then days later, we saw 111 being defended. And as you said, 95 all out for KKR. So look, it's going to be fascinating to see how it goes down in the 2 games. Which surface is given to the teams, given that it's a neutral venue, although Punjab are at home. And yeah, I think it comes down to a few individual battles, and the Hazlewood Chahal one is a significant one, especially given that Mullanpur, for me, has favoured the spinners a bit. Chahal got 4 for 28 in that KKR game. I definitely think the spin and which teams can get the best out of their spinners could decide these 2 matches.
Yeah, well, the 2 times they met in the group stage, Nikhil, which was about a month ago, there was 1 win and 1 loss between the 2 teams. Both matches going close to the final over. Is there anything that you can pick up from those 2 encounters between the 2 teams that could point us to where this clash Thursday may go, even though, as I just said, it was over a month ago? So there's been a lot of cricket between the last meetings between these 2 teams.
I think, Lance, especially in the IPL, so much is about confidence. And for RCB to show up there, first of all, coming off of a historic win to chase 227 against Lucknow, but also I think to show up there knowing that they've beaten this team before, beaten them here at this venue, and also the fact that both teams have got almost a second bite at the cherry, given that they've got the 1 and 2. I think both will be highly confident. I don't know how much they'll take. As you said, it's a month ago. A lot has changed. Personnel has changed. For me, it comes down to more about adapting on the day and who can adapt faster out of the 2 teams. I personally think, I'm going to put my prediction cap on, I think the winner of this year's IPL is coming from one of these 2 teams. The reason I say that, in 14 seasons of the IPL, only once has a team not finished in the top 2 and won the tournament. It's just too hard. This league is the most competitive in the world, and to win 3 games straight is almost impossible in my opinion. So I think it's coming from one of these 2 teams. And I mean, you want that extra rest. Given what we've had with the scheduling, you want just the benefit of knowing that you don't have to go into an elimination game before the final. So it's a huge clash. And I think both teams will be equally confident coming off of wins.
Yeah, and how important will Virat Kohli be to this, his setup? Because one of the things is he has had one of the best strike rates in the competition so far. He's going into this match that, is a very important one in good form.
Yeah, and also he got 73 off 50 in Mulanpur when RCB won that game. So he would have excellent memories. I think, obviously, we know he's the king of the chases. He was devastated to be dismissed in the Lucknow chase, given that he got a start. For me, it'll probably come down to if they're batting second, the way him and Phil Salt go in the first 6 against an Arshdeep Singh, against Punjab's new ball bowlers, because that's been sort of their strength this season in both power plays. But look, both teams kind of missed some big players. Tim David significantly weakens and lessens the depth in this RCB team without his power. And then I look at Marco Jansen, 16 wickets in the tournament, 8 of them came at the back end. And this is a Punjab team that have already struggled bowling at the back end, going at more than 11 runs and over. So they've got some holes to fill. And really, it's been fascinating how it's come down with players leaving at this stage. And now teams and players have had no real time to acclimatize to the toughest league in the world.
Yeah, and one of the things when you read about the conditions at Mulanpur, it's very hard to predict because there are instances in the past where it has been a high-scoring ground, but then other situations, Nikhil, where they could barely get to 111 or 120. So, I mean, to even think about the conditions for this matchup is a bit difficult to predict.
Yeah, very difficult. A lot will come down to what the two teams assess probably day before, day of the game. But again, this is why I think RCB have gotten so far this season. There's been a lot more versatility in their 11 when you think about options like Krunal Pandya, Livingston, Shepherd, a ton of all-rounders who can contribute in multiple ways in one given game. Maybe their bowling, for me, Josh Hazelwood is probably the most important player in the entire playoffs, just because of the way their bowling has suffered when he's not been there for 3 games. They've gone at over 10s in the power play. They've conceded over 200 in each game. When he's been there, they've been the second best power play team in the tournament. So for me, he holds the key to RCB's chances of winning this year's IPL.
And finally, does Romari Shepherd play for Bengaluru on Thursday?
It's a tough one, Lance. I would have him because I think he just offers you so much. He offers you power. He's bowled well in the last few games, barring the Lucknow one. But I could easily see them, given the way Tushara bowled coming into his first game, I could easily see them dropping him and going for a specialist and another specialist bowler in Hazelwood and keeping Tushara in. But I hope he plays because it's a good stage for him to do well. This is why he, did not go to England to compete here for RCB. And hopefully they trust him and back him for the playoffs.
Okay, Nikhil, always great talking cricket with you, sir. And we'll talk again soon.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, break time. Back to put the wrap on the show after this.